Man vs. Wild: Ecology and the Tintin Series is an essay written by Lakshmi Menon. Now, Tintin is a character created by Hodge. Now, this essay analyzes the Tintin series from ecological perspective. In this essay, only two stories are mentioned. One is Tintin in Tibet and the other is Tintin in the Congo. So first, let us understand what is eco-criticism. Eco-criticism is the study of relationship between literature and the physical environment. It studies the complex relationship between literature and culture. It studies the role that nature plays in the text. It looks closely at the relationship between humans and nature in the text. It also questions the anthropocentric attitudes in the text. So, this Tintin series, in this essay, we are going to analyze through a eco-critical perspective. So first let us know what is the story of Tintin in the Congo. So here we can see that Tintin travels to the Congo as a young reporter. Here he meets the local people during his journey. Also we can see here that Tintin hunts and kills wild animals such as lions and elephants. In the story, animals are treated as objects for human use and entertainment. So this story reflects colonial attitudes towards Africa and nature. Humans are shown as superior to animals and the environment. The narrative highlights exploitation of wildlife and natural resources. Now, when we look into this story, that is Tintin in the Congo, we can see that Tintin is a character who's not at all in union with nature. We can say that Tintin is portrayed with an anthropocentric attitude. Anthropocentric attitude means a human centered way of thinking. It means human beings consider themselves as superior to nature and animals. They treat the natural world as inferior. Tintin is shown as hunting and killing animals such as lions and elephants. Here, he uses animals as objects and cannot see their worth. This behavior reflects the belief that humans are superior to nature. Also, the portrayal mirrors colonial attitudes where African land and wildlife were dominated and exploited. Lakshmi Menon, the author of this essay, uses Tintin's actions to criticize human exploitation of the environment. Also, the story highlights the lack of respect for nature and wildlife during the colonial period. Now let's look into the short story of Tintin in Tibet. So here we can see that Tintin has a friend named Chang, and the friend Chang is missing after a plane crash in the Himalayas. But Chang but Tintin feels that Chang is alive, so he begins a dangerous journey to Tibet. Tintin travels with Captain Haddock and local guides, facing extreme cold, avalanches, and difficult mountain paths. Unknown to others, it is a monstrous figure named the Yeti who rescues Chang from the crash site. Chang and Yeti stay together, and Yeti protects, cares, and provides food for him daily. However, the Yeti is believed to be dangerous and frightening by Tintin as well as his friends. Tintin finally finds Chang living with Yeti, but Chang explains that Yeti is kind, friendly, and compassionate, and he is not violent. The story highlights friendship, compassion, and harmony with nature. So, this is the short story of Tintin in Tibet. Now, let's just look at the presentation of nature in the story. Here we can see that nature is not just a background but a powerful living presence in the story. The Himalayas shape the plot, character, and emotions. Tintin's journey begins because of his deep emotional bond with Chang. Tintin refuses to believe Chang as dead. Nature is shown as vast, powerful, and dangerous. There are snowy mountains, freezing cold, avalanches, and deep ice cracks highlighting nature's strength. These dangers show how small and vulnerable humans are compared to nature. Humans cannot control nature, they must respect and adapt to it. At the same time, nature is presented as pure, calm, and spiritually meaningful. Silent valleys and peaceful mountains create space for reflection and inner strength. The mountains symbolize both physical and emotional challenges. Nature is also closely linked to the Yeti who lives in the remote mountains. People fear the Yeti because it is unknown and misunderstood. The Yeti rescues Chang and protects him with care and compassion. This shows that nature can be protective, kind, and nurturing, and not just destructive. The Yeti symbolizes the compassionate side of nature. The story also suggests that humans often fear what they do not understand. So, through all these things, the author is trying to tell us that we must take care of nature, be in union with nature. Our aim is to live in harmony with nature and not to dominate it. Thank you.